Right, so back to the build. I finished my little home project, just a little bit to do on it, but I'm happy to begin on the fuselage, this is me just sorting out my fuselage parts from my V-tail parts, some bulkheads and bits and pieces, and basswood stringers. How about that? So a little point here I just thought was a good, a nice touch with the laser is this is a center line that has been etched onto the I'm assuming this will be a lower part, but even here you can see there's a center line etched. The bulkhead or the former locations are etched onto the timber as well, so that's really cool. What else? Some of this stuff here. I mean, I took my time when I first started. I took my time being very meticulous with the knife and cutting the tabs. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, but what I found is if you just put your finger on the waist over the bench and lift the part, it just pops out. And by doing so, instead of trying to push it out, and you push it out one end and it spins and twists and rips something and blah, 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 blah. And keep your waste separate from your parts, because otherwise you'll end up with a big pile of timber and you'll go, oh, hang on a minute, which one was the parts and which one was for the waste? Yeah, righto, so we'll put that aside, and that's V-tail bits, some spoiler arms, V-tail, I don't know, webs if you like, angle bracket things. Put them aside and I shall get underway. A couple seconds ago I was extolling the virtues of pressing out the waste through the middle, which works fine until you get to the 3mm plywood formers. Sharp knife. Okay? Step one of the fuselage calls for these two parts, two base pieces, to be glued together off the plan, but just making sure that the etched center lines are kept straight so that we don't get a misaligned front to back. But what we've come up with here, what we've managed to sort out here is we've got little misalignment in the etches, in the center lines, just here. So when you go to put a straight edge on that, it's like, okay, well, which line do I follow? So what I thought I'd do is I'd make sure the center line is straight on the plan, use that as my reference, and pin the parts down. There's actually a join here, drawn, where am I? Here, there, to match this. So I thought I'd bring that up to there and align the part over the plan, and do the same over here. Line it up at the front, pin it all down and glue it in place, and that will make sure that this is straight to this according to the plan. That should solve that one. So I thought this interesting. I've glued the join, and my intention, and still is, will be to draw a Nico, a very fine point to replace the center line. And then I had a look at the center line that's been etched by the laser, and starting at the tail here, it's straight all the way through to about here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 inches from the end, and then it starts to curve away. So maybe the timber is just, I don't know, because it would have been cut and etched and cut at the same time. So, but the timber looks to be still, yeah, maybe the timber has just got a bit of a bend in it since it was laser cut. Well, that's working with timber, isn't it? That's what happens. So anyway, I'll go through with a fine point marker and redraw that center line up there, that bit, and the rest is still fine.